The Kaspa cryptocurrency launched in November 2021, just after the last crypto bull run and at the beginning of one of the most depressing bear markets in crypto history. It launched to very little hype or fanfare and was hard to pick out from all the other crypto projects on the market. In fact, quite confusingly, during the same year, another project called Kaspa was launched and it received a lot more hype. You could have been fooled into thinking that the Kaspa project was just another typical project that would fall into obscurity and disappear like so many other crypto projects. But little did most of us know that in 2021, when Kaspa was launched so quietly, it became the most unique blockchain project that had ever been released. Although Kaspa initially seemed just like another typical blockchain project, the crypto space soon figured out that Kaspa was truly revolutionary and it had achieved something that even the biggest crypto geniuses thought was impossible. In this video, I explain what makes Kaspa truly unique, why it is still a great investment, and why it ranks as the greatest blockchain project ever created. It is amazing that a crypto project as revolutionary as Kaspa launched and it was initially quite overlooked. Kaspa was originally launched by a research and development company called DAG Labs with investment support from Polychain. The founder of Kaspa is Jonathan Sompolinsky, a postdoc computer scientist at Harvard University and a member of the MED research team. And by the way, I'm really sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but I think I got it right there. Jonathan's contributions to the field of blockchain is really impressive. His 2013 paper on the GHOSTDAG protocol is even cited in the Ethereum white paper. Many top crypto projects like Cardano, Ethereum and Polkadot exist because of the work of Jonathan. So although this is their first full crypto project, they are in many respects one of the OGs of crypto technology. When Kaspa was released, you could have been forgiven for thinking it was just another crypto project, but soon after its release, savvy crypto enthusiasts realized that this project was very unique because it was the first project in the history of the blockchain space that truly delivered on the vision of Satoshi Nakamoto when they developed Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, as I'm sure you know, was created in 2009 after years of work by a person or potentially a group of people known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto was because they used a fake name, and after launching Bitcoin, they disappeared forever. Satoshi was a genius and a true visionary. They saw a major issue with the world's currencies and financial systems. Current financial systems are prone to mass manipulation by centralized entities like governments and banks, and the traditional currencies of the world lose their value because of inflation. So Satoshi created Bitcoin to address these issues. Bitcoin was the first ever trustless currency, meaning that it did not require any centralized entity to intermediate during transactions, which removed the need for banks and financial institutions. Bitcoin was also designed to be deflationary, meaning it increases in value over time. Bitcoin is considered very decentralized and very secure. Every time a Bitcoin transaction happens, Bitcoin creates a block on the blockchain. This block contains all the information about a transaction. The transaction is then validated by miners who give their compute power to the Bitcoin network in exchange for Bitcoin. This validation process makes the Bitcoin blockchain very secure, decentralized, and very reliable. Once a transaction has been added to the blockchain, it is impossible to remove or edit it. Although Bitcoin was an incredible invention and the first of its kind, it soon became obvious that it had some major weaknesses. The biggest issue with Bitcoin was that it was completely unscalable. Because each transaction had to be validated by a miner, and only one block could be added to the blockchain at a time, it was very slow. A transaction on the Bitcoin ledger could take anywhere from 10 minutes to 60 minutes when the network was quiet, and it could take several days when the network was busy. The network was also really expensive to use. Ethereum was released soon after, and it was the next evolution of Bitcoin. Smart contracts could be run on the Ethereum ledger, but Ethereum suffered from the same issues as Bitcoin. It was too expensive and too slow. This led to the Ethereum creator of Vitalik Buterin, coining the term the blockchain trilemma. Vitalik said that the blockchain trilemma was an unsolvable issue where there is always a trade-off between three pillars of blockchain technology, which are decentralization, scalability, and security. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum were decentralized and secure, but they were not scalable. Since then, Ethereum has switched to a proof-of-stake model, and it has since become far more scalable, but it has sacrificed a lot of its decentralization. Until November 2021, the trilemma was presumed to be an unsolvable issue, but then enter Kaspa. Kaspa came into existence and it solved the issue of the trilemma. Now, I want to stop here for a second and highlight something in case this isn't clear. Kaspa solving the trilemma is a really, really, really big deal. Like, it's the biggest deal since the creation of Bitcoin in terms of blockchain technology. In my opinion, it's even a bigger deal than the creation of smart contracts. This solution that Kaspa has come up with finally makes Satoshi's vision a reality, and it has solved a problem that some of the greatest minds in the world of crypto technology thought was unsolvable. So anyway, back to November 2021, and Kaspa was finally released to the world. Once the Kaspa technology was developed, it was released by the DAG Labs team and given to the Kaspa community to develop from that point onwards, meaning there was no centralized group controlling any aspect of the project. The Kaspa project then released their token, which was known as KAS. Just like Bitcoin, KAS was fair launch, meaning that none of the KAS tokens were given to team members or venture capitalists or influencers or marketers. This project was just released, and the only way to get KAS tokens was to mine them. And just like Bitcoin, KAS is designed to increase in value over time. Bitcoin is designed to increase in value due to its halving process that happens every 4 years. When a Bitcoin halving happens, the amount of Bitcoin rewarded to miners halves in value, meaning basically that Bitcoin becomes twice as expensive to mine overnight. Since it is then twice as expensive to mine, the miners obviously have to up their prices when they sell their Bitcoin, so the price of Bitcoin increases. I know that it's probably quite straightforward to understand what I'm saying here, but when I first heard about the halving process, it confused me. So this is a kind of analogy or a story that helped me anyway, I think, and you might find it useful. So the halving process is kind of just the same as if you owned a shop and you're selling shirts in it, and you buy the shirts from a wholesaler for $10 and then you sell them for $20. Then one day, if the wholesaler ups the cost of the shirts to $20, now it'll cost you $20 to buy the shirts, so you can't sell them for $20 anymore because you won't make a profit. So then you have to up the price of your shirts to $30 to keep the same profit. So in the same way, the Bitcoin halving causes the Bitcoin price to increase because the cost of mining a Bitcoin goes up. So then the miners can't sell their Bitcoin for the same price, so they have to up the price that they're selling Bitcoin for. So KAS follows a halving process that is based on Bitcoin, but a lot different. KAS is designed to reduce the rewards given to miners gradually over time, so it happens in a smooth way that is less shocking to the crypto industry than Bitcoin. In the image on screen, you can see the slow reduction in rewards from Kaspa mining. You can also find the full emission schedule just by Googling the Kaspa emission schedule. So you would expect KAS to gradually increase in value over time just because it is more expensive for miners to acquire over time. KAS is decentralized and secure as well, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin uses miners' compute power to validate network transactions and to power the Bitcoin network. Since the miners are based all over the world and anyone can mine Bitcoin, this means it is very hard to take control of the Bitcoin network or turn it off. Then the transactions are validated by miners rather than a central authority, and once each transaction block is created, it can't be changed or deleted. For these reasons, Bitcoin is considered very decentralized and very secure. And KAS follows the exact same approach to Bitcoin, which makes the Kaspa network as secure and decentralized as Bitcoin. KAS can also be used for transactions and as store of value, just like Bitcoin as well. So in all of these regards, KAS is the exact same as Bitcoin, and it is a complete replica of the Bitcoin project, and it contains the same important elements that make Bitcoin so unique. But of course, Satoshi's original vision for Bitcoin was that it could be scaled to be used by the whole world. But unfortunately, Bitcoin has failed so far in this regard, and it isn't scalable enough to serve the needs of a city, never mind the whole world. And this is where KAS and Bitcoin diverge, because KAS actually is able to scale to serve the needs of the whole world. The issue with Bitcoin in terms of scalability is that when a transaction is made, a new block must be added. This new block must then communicate to all other blocks that it exists. No further transactions can be made until this block has been fully added, and this is why Bitcoin is very secure but very slow. Now, KAS implements something called the GHOSTDAG that fixes this problem because it can add multiple blocks at the same time, and still the blocks are ordered as they occurred and communicated to all the other blocks. So KAS works like Bitcoin in that it's as secure as Bitcoin, but it can also add blocks simultaneously. Now, this might not seem like a big deal to you, and it initially didn't seem like a very big deal to a not very technical person like myself, but to blockchain developers, this is a huge deal, and it is something that was previously thought to be impossible. In fact, this is such a massive development that many top blockchain developers have described it as magic rather than just another technical development. This multiple adding of blocks means that KAS is super scalable. In fact, KAS originally started off being able to add 1 block per second, making it the fastest blockchain or DAG in the crypto space, and it has since upgraded to add 10 blocks per second, with the eventual goal being to add 100 blocks per second. And KAS does all this while remaining super cheap at only fractions of a cent per transaction. So KAS is the quickest and most scalable genuine blockchain while also managing to be as secure and decentralized as possible, which means, if you haven't guessed it, the KAS has officially become the first blockchain to fully solve the blockchain trilemma. And not only that, but the Kaspa network has gone one step further. KAS can also operate smart contracts, meaning that it has also achieved the original goal of Vitalik Buterin and Ethereum. KAS is the ultimate blockchain solution and probably the final iteration that will ever be needed other than maybe introducing a useful proof of work model. And for that reason, when you consider the heights that Solana and Cardano hit in previous bull runs, it looks like KAS is very undervalued right now and will run very high in the next bull run. I imagine that we could see KAS up around $3 at the end of this bull run because it is such a true revolution in blockchain technology. But at the same time, as I'm sure you know, nothing is ever guaranteed in crypto, so it might not play out as expected, but I definitely think that KAS should be a great investment. Of course, there is another crypto project called Cubic that is now using a quorum technology, and it appears to be even more advanced than KAS. So click on the video on screen right now to learn about Cubic, and I'll see you on the outside.